Hop out, valet, walk out, all these bands I lost count, cause I'm too up right now. Too up right now.
And we come to you from one of the truly iconic stadiums in the NFL as you get a look at Lambeau Field here in Green Bay, Wisconsin. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it, this crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Minnesota Vikings and the Green Bay Packers. 3/4 of the NFL season are complete. What lurks in our final month? We're underway in Week 14. With it on the return now, here's Westbrook. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Now the first carry for Dalvin Cook. Gets around him. And room to run as he's up past the 35-yard line. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
On 2nd down, here's Wilson. And nearly an interception here on their opening drive. But instead, 3rd down. Now keep in mind, they did have 3 interceptions last week. Couldn't quite come up with a first-quarter pick that time.
But they had to like what they saw in terms of reacting when the ball is thrown. We had an expression when I played. It was called break on it. Every time the quarterback puts the ball in the air, break on the football. Go make a play and accumulate those interceptions.
Former defensive back. You remember those 3 interception games. It can be contagious, give you a little momentum.
They really can, and it doesn't matter whether it's one person or if you spread them across your entire defense. Everybody wants a piece of that pie.
Oh, he's got a little daylight. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first. If you make the stop there, maybe you hold them to 3 on this opening drive. They didn't get the stop.
Yeah, new set of downs now. Now you're worried about, just as you pointed out, not just giving up 3, possibly giving up 6. Let's see what they decide to do here because they've got to change up what they have been doing. It hasn't been working.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They'll run on 1st down. Scott, and he'll be stopped up quickly here at the 38. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Now Wilson on 2nd down. And nearly an interception here on their opening drive. But instead, 3rd down.
Used to have a coach who used to tell us all the time, those scouting reports aren't just to use up paper, guys. Well, nowadays, we're watching a computer screen, right? They scouted this team very well. Know that they like to use the running backs in the passing game. They covered that play successfully.
They need to get to the 29 if they want to pick up a first here on third down. They pitch it out to Cook. Calling no gain there, and it leads to a fourth down.
One of the things I love about this game is there's a match of wits throughout the game. Who's going to get the advantage? Who's going to catch someone off guard? I feel like the offense thought they might catch the defense off balance with that play call, but unfortunately, that didn't work for them.
Now Chandler Catanzaro for the field goal here. This officially a 55-yard attempt. And this won't get there. Won't be on line either. It's no good. Off to the right, and this will remain a scoreless game. Well, that opening drive looked good for a moment there, but they'll wind up being turned away thanks to the missed field goal.
And those especially hurt when you come into a game on the road. You're trying to get things to go your way early, and now you suffer a setback right out of the gate.
The former Indiana Hoosier here, Tevin Coleman. And he's going to take this one down to about the 46-yard line. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. If these kinds of lanes are available, you have to feel like he's going to have a pretty big game on the ground.
Yeah, you can tell early on he's got a little burst in his step, and that's a big pickup right there on first down.
Coleman now. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs. Now a play fake here on first down. He finds Randall Cobb with a completion. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. And the play goes for 19 yards, gives him a new set of downs. Pushes him over. And give him about 3 as he gets it down to the 22-yard line.
Not much happening there on first down.
I thought there might have been a hole for a split second.
Yeah, but it dried up pretty quickly, didn't it? Closed fast.
Now this time Rodgers will throw. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Charles, that makes now 5 interceptions in not even 5 quarters. Remember, he threw 4 picks last week.
And this turns into a tough situation because a lot of fans, the first thing is, oh, well, we need to change quarterbacks. This is your guy. This is your elite player. You can't just take him out like that. If I'm the coach, I make a little joke and say, you know something, big guy? We're going to change the football. So it's obvious that's the problem. It's not you. Keep firing.
Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. Brought down around the 16 or 17. Had a nice move, but couldn't free much space. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
On 2nd down, Wilson flushed out right. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away, and now it's 3rd.
Oh, I like that right there. Not only was it the right play, throwing it away like that, frankly, I think it was the only play.
Yeah, got outside of the pocket, realized he had nothing, just chucked it free.
Yeah, live to fight another down, right?
So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6.
Zebra. 14. Tempo.
Now it's Wilson. And he's got a man, Corey Davis. 11 yards for number 11.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. On first down, Wilson. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Kind of a fine line when you're setting up the screen. You don't want to throw it too early and have the defense react too quickly. And you definitely don't want to throw it too late. And that way it's not formed perfectly. Got to make sure you hit it just right.
So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. On 2nd down, Cook. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. He's able to rattle off 6 on the carry, and that'll get him to 3rd and 4. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. But also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
And he's able to find Diggs. Give him 30 yards there. Well, we know he's got the speed there. He needed the speed and the hands. A great catch.
And because of that speed, you have to respect it as a defender. So you have to either play off or make sure you're somehow in contact with him. And he's able to do exactly what you said. Use the speed to his advantage and go up and get the football. That's a big-time play right there.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, when that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front and linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
First red zone chance now for the Vikings. They have a 1st and 10 at the 18. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's got this one down to the 10. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards. And it's 2nd and 2. Pretty effective run there, and now they can start to smell that end zone.
Pound the rock. Make sure you use your O-line to set the tone of dominance and physicality, and pound the rock.
Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter begins with the Vikings holding the football. They're looking at a 2nd and short yardage to start things out. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. Flush to his right. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. The 6 yards on the pickup, and it leaves him with a 1st and goal. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him the football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field and just...
And he will take this one into the end zone for a Viking touchdown. A great play there with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Vikings are able to strike for 6. Catanzaro out now as he'll kick this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. Now a hit and a loose football. So a teammate picking him up there, that was nearly disaster.
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the return guy, because you want to make sure that the catch is secured. A lot of teams do that. They have at least one guy. Okay, you're responsible for making sure he secures the catch. He's not always the one that makes the recovery, but he can always sound out the alarm. Hey, ball's on the ground. We've got to get it back.
He's going to float this one deep right side. That's caught inside the 20. It's a big play there for Green Bay. 61 yards. The last drive he threw the pick, but he's not shy. He's going downfield again there.
And you can't be, because if you back off after throwing an interception, your whole game plan just goes right out the window, and it makes things easier for a defense. And you and I both know there's no quarterback in this league that's any good that doesn't throw an interception occasionally, and they usually bounce back in a big way. I've seen guys throw 5 and still find a way to win the game in the end. When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. Tevin Coleman hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Packers have drawn even here with the extra point to come. The extra point splits the uprights, and they take the lead here at 7-6. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Vikings offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. The tackle will be credited to Jake Ryan.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
To throw is Wilson. Forced out to his left. First by him near the 35. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. A good decision in the end to pull it and run. Gets him 9 yards and a first. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Wow, that play got shut down in a hurry.
As soon as the snap came, you could see defensively they were just closing in. That was going nowhere.
Yeah, you count on your offensive line to give you a little bit of space, a little bit of time so you can make a move. There was none there for him.
Here's Wilson. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Nick Perry able to get in there and take him down for a loss of 3.
I spent a lot of extra time preparing for this game watching this offensive line because they gave up 5 sacks last week in their loss. They just gave up another one now. They don't seem to be working together as a cohesive unit, right? 4 guys might have it right, but the 5th guy is giving something up. They've got to find a way to all get on the same page.
Third and 15 here after the first and second down plays went in the wrong direction.
We got 3, fellas, we got 3.
That's going to set him back 5 yards. After the delay, they're backed up even further for 3rd and long.
4 down, check, 4 down.
No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave them with a 4th down.
I have to admit to a little surprise here. And then down in distance, I would have thought they were going to throw the football. Instead, they decided to run it. But give credit to the defense. They weren't fooled at all and held them to no gain.
Out is Rigoberto Sanchez on 4th down to punt this thing. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. And taken right on the 30. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And it'll be Packer football here. 1st down and 10. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Rodgers now on 1st down. He's going to float this one deep right. That's caught at the 25. Touchdown, Packers. Marquez Valdez-Scantling, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Packers are able to strike quickly for 6. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Now the Vikings offense works their way back onto the field and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win 1st down. You win 2nd down. And guess what? You start accumulating 1st downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up 2nd.
I think there's one element that just keeps increasing on defense in the NFL, and that's speed. They want it at every position, and we just saw there some linebackers who can go sideline to sideline, run past that trash, go past people, and make tackles near the sidelines.
And not only near the sideline, but also in the backfield there for the loss. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. On second down, Scott. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play as we have reached the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. We're back to Lambeau following these words. The Vikings on third down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This will be 3rd and 15. Wilson. A bullet throw, but incomplete. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better. Got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They've got to find a way to bring those two elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
So possession goes over here on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. So good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10. Shotgun now for Rodgers. Drops it off for Coleman. Able to fight through one tackle. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. 6 yards on the pickup, and it's a 2nd down.
And a nice gain and a broken tackle along the way. And really, we shouldn't be surprised, should we? That's what runners do, especially the best ones. They break tackles and gain extra yardage.
Now Rodgers throwing on 2nd down. He's going to let this one go deep. Oh, and this ball's tipped and intercepted. Xavier Rhodes with a pick. And I do believe this is going to wind up a safety. It is. It's a safety. How about that for a wacky play? Wow, what a disaster. You talk about a guy making a good play on the interception and then just trying to be too cute on the return.
It almost felt like his own gyroscope really got out of whack, didn't it? Going backwards into your own end zone after such a great play. Totally disoriented and gave up 2 points for his team.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And we'll see how this is played. Offensively, they've got the lead. Not a whole lot of time left. What do you think, Charles?
Well, it's tempting to try and add to your lead, but a mistake there, that can change things in a big way. I say go ahead, take the knee, get on out for the half.
So after the INT, it's Rodgers. Escaping the pressure right. He completes it to Julio Jones. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 23 yards on the play.
Of course we think of Aaron Rodgers as a pocket passer, but you and I both know this guy's a pure athlete. He can get outside and make plays with his legs as well.
I showed it right there, outside of the pocket and on the money.
319! 319! Box it, box it, box it, box it!
And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play.
That's fine, yeah. Kelly, don't let Kelly.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout. As the stoppage will come with 23 seconds to go till halftime.
let's go, come on. Wind out, you got 58. Hey, watch that, check right 54, right 54. Turn it now. Hold.
On second down, here's Rodgers. And that will be incomplete with the clock showing 18 seconds now to go. The turnover put them in great field position. They don't want to squander it with third down coming up.
No, not at all. And you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash in and get some points.
And the line to gain here is the 37 on third down.
Hey, check 26.
So that'll back him up 5. After the delay, they're backed up even further for third and long. Shotgun now for Rodgers. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. So now on comes the field goal unit, and wow, this is no ordinary try here. This will be from 56 yards out. And they're not going to get the snap off. This might back him out of field goal range. And that'll set him back 5. On fourth down, J.K. Scott ready to punt it away. And he'll send this one into the cold Lambeau night. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And you got to think, if this is anything other than just taking a knee, I'd be very surprised.
Yeah, they've got enough to talk about at the half. Why do anything else? Just get out of there.
Likely time for one final snap as they start out 1st and 10. They'll throw on first down with Wilson. Uncorks one for Davis. And too much juice. It'll be out of bounds, incomplete. So we're at halftime here at Lambeau with the Packers taking the lead to the break. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, so it's the Packers set to receive the kick. They've got the lead as well as we are underway in the third quarter. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Packers offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
They'll start out on the ground with Coleman. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And he'll work his way across the 30 to the 32. So that one will be accepted. This is Coleman. And a short gain there as he'll get it up only to about the 24. Stop made there by Gerald McCoy. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Oko, over here.
They will run again with Coleman. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll make it 3rd and 1.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively.
Over. Blue 50 engine on it. 26.
Here's Coleman. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. And a nice carry there of 15 yards.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and turn his legs for a really nice pickup.
Zoom. 4 down. Check.
On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. Got an open man. It's Valdez-Scantling. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another 1st down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Coleman. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
I once had a defensive player in the NFL tell me, if I beat and dominate the guy across from me, I'm helping my team. Well, winning one-on-one battles is always a part of the game, but when you have good team defense, as we just saw there, one broken tackle, but he didn't get away because the rest of the guys arrived to put him on the ground.
Looking deep downfield. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
I know exactly why he tried to throw the ball to Julio Jones there. He's never considered covered. He's either too fast or too strong. You always try and get it to him.
Especially on those deep passes. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Strong right.
Working from the gun, Rodgers. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Stephen Weatherly in there to get him for a loss of 9, and that'll lead to 4th down. Here's J.K. Scott now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. It's the Vikings' turn on offense. We get ready for their first possession of the 2nd half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance to turn that into points on the offensive end.
Can you imagine what the grease board looks like at the half? Because
no, tell me.
That's exactly what they printed up. Stop them on defense, get the ball back for our offense, and go downfield and score some points. Now, the last part remains to be seen, but they got the first part done very well.
Do people use grease boards, or you mean the magic marker board?
Yeah, those two.
And space opened up a bit. He's able to take this up past the 10. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
From this vantage point, that seems like a pretty dangerous call, running a toss that close to your own goal line. I think what they were hoping is that they were going to get some pressure.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down.
Tempo.
Play action. It's Wilson. And he's going to go down right near the goal line. The officials look at each other. They're going to mark him at the 1-yard line. Nick Perry in there to get him for his second sack of the night. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he puts a little something extra into this one, by far his best of the night, taking it about the 36. Nearly a huge return, as it is still a very good one. 24 yards. And the Packers will have a short field to work with here as they take over 1st and 10.
Green 19. Right there, 54, right there, 54 Mike.
Play clock down to 0, and this is not the way to start a drive. The delay of game backs him up 5, 1st and 15. From the gun, it's Rodgers. And his throw's going to be incomplete. The intended target, the tight end, Austin Seferian-Jenkins. And it's 2nd down.
All right, that one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, they'll miss on 40% of their throws, somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection, but way better that it hits the ground instead of going to an opposite color jersey.
Rodgers to throw on 2nd down. Pressure, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back right around the 44. Gerald McCoy coming up the middle, gets him there for a loss of about 9. Rodgers now, after the sack, he'll lead the pack up on 3rd and long. Operating from the gun, Rodgers lets it fly deep for Cobb. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. And the Vikings now heading onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. And he'll be taken down, losing yardage back at the 9-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
That goes down as a loss against his rushing stats. But really, should he have to absorb that one? He had no chance on that play before they overwhelmed him.
Pretty much on top of him before he could take his first step. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. This time Wilson will throw. Eluding the pressure right. Throw left side complete to Scott. And he's got some space here. A big play there on the catch and run. 62 yards.
So what's the old expression that quarterbacks like to use when they decide to throw the football? I'm looking for either a touchdown or a check down. And he took the check down on that play, and it worked almost to perfection.
Back now at Lambeau. It's the Vikings in possession of the football, but they need some points. They're trailing here to start the fourth.
Let's get it. Shotgun.
Now Wilson on first down. Pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down. Carl Nassib. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. They'll run it now out of the gun. And, he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down. Well, when you're leading in the fourth quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
The penalty moves him into the red zone here on 1st and 10.
14.
Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. Being chased out left. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be second and a couple.
I think we have to give credit to him for buying time and extending the play. But you know there's some really upset defenders on that one. They thought that they had him. Instead, he was coated in Teflon and got away.
On the carry, it's Cook. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. They got 2 of the 3 they needed there. Leaves them with 3rd and just a yard.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Oh, partner, that play brought back memories. Watching them string it out, letting the runner get all the way to the sideline area, but not letting him get out of bounds. They formed that picket fence and didn't allow him through.
Not only that, got him for a loss as well here. And one of the reasons they lead in the fourth quarter, plays like that.
Yeah, it took a little more time off the clock, making him do it that way, didn't they?
He's going to get it running right. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. Only a yard there, and that'll bring us to 3rd and goal. Defensively, I think they can smell a stop. Ball right around the 5 here, brings up 3rd.
And I think what they've done is they put doubt in the minds of the offensive guys. What do we do? Because now you don't have a go-to play. Either side they pick, throwing it, running it, it won't be easy.
You got to think this is likely 4-down territory anyway, but they'll try to punch it in now on 3rd and goal.
Cut! 215! Well. Foot left.
Now Wilson. And that is incomplete. Jonathan Cyprien there defensively to make the play.
Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just 1 target in the first half, incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target of the second half.
Yeah, should not stop them at all from going back to him to find him.
And Catanzaro's kick is right through. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary first step.
There's still time remaining, and there's enough time to get it done. They've got to get at the least a 3-and-out here to get the ball back, preferably a takeaway.
Fielded about a yard deep. And with flags down, he's up near the 40, but it looks like this one might be coming back. So that will push him back.
And now we know why I have a little extra space to run, don't we? An illegal block in the back, that penalty will move them back.
Rodgers will break the huddle and bring the pack up 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line. Here's Coleman on the toss. Got some room at the 30 and all the way up to the 31-yard line. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. And he'll be limited to a short gain up to about the 34-yard line. And now the Vikings are going to stop it here on defense with a timeout. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter.
Hey, let's go, come on. Hey, Lex. Box it.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll rumble for about 5, up close to the 40. Another timeout called by the Vikings now. That's going to be their second. They'll be left with 1 more plus the 2-minute warning, and we'll be back. Here we go, 3rd and 1. Gut check time on both sides.
Hey, you got 3. 26.
Throwing is Rodgers. Now look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by Ronald Darby. And he'll return this one just shy of midfield to the 49. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. They'll toss it to Coleman. Busting through contact. Just wasn't a huge hole there for him to operate. Stopped just inside the 35-yard line. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Coleman. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. And now we're going to get a timeout defensively. So another stop, 1:50 left in the football game. The Packers on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. Here it's 3rd and 2.
Hurry up, hurry up.
To throw is Rodgers. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Now a handoff looking right. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And it'll be 2nd and very short. An ideal down and distance to try to finish this thing off. 2nd and inches. Rodgers will take a knee here, and that should be all she wrote. And that knee will do it. So they snap the losing streak. Always a good feeling.
Yeah, I don't know if this one right here, when they're taking a knee, is as much exultation as exhalation, right? They just breathe a sigh of relief. Finally got a win. Needed one desperately.
And, Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
So for Green Bay, they move back over 500 at 7-6. And they'll get the weekend off now as they get a little extra time to prepare to face the Chicago Bears. Meanwhile, for Minnesota, they're squarely in play for next year mode now as they drop to 2-11. And they'll be on the road next week as they get a date with the Jaguars in Jacksonville. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my brother.